I gotta say this. Mayor Bloomberg of New York City, damn guy's a Nazi. I mean, he's supposed to be Jewish, but man, he's a Nazi. He's a freaking fascist dictator. And, this guy, I'm going to give you a little quote. This was right off of the, I think it was the Washington Times, just from the, yesterday, actually, or the day before, March 25th, Monday. He goes on to say that New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg said on Sunday, which was March 24th, 2013, sometimes government knows best, and in those cases, Americans should just cede their rights. Who the hell is this jerk? You know, this is where the New Yorkers ought to start getting all the rotten eggs and tomatoes and stuff and just throwing it at this bastard every time he walks by. You know, pelt his motorcade with the crap. This guy's a bunch of bullshit. And, just watch with I know he's Jewish, but just watch with the anti-Semitism. I'm going to, it's cool to be critical of anybody. No problem. But, I got to point this out because, it goes like from one extreme to the other, Nobody can do anything wrong, and it's like now they're doing everything wrong. And, how many of the LAPD, Los Angeles Police Department, are Jewish and go around beating up motorists and stuff like that because of they're talking on their cell phone? If you've probably seen that YouTube video, that lady got body slammed for talking on her cell phone by a 22-year veteran of the LAPD. How many goons do you see on a TSA that are, do all this crazy shit? How many of them are Jewish, right? Well, probably zero, okay? So, Mayor Bloomberg's a freaking idiot. That doesn't mean Jews are idiots, because a lot of Jews in New York, I'm sure they got some heaters, some firepower just to protect themselves against, and their businesses against anything that could possibly happen as a contingency plan. And so it happens, it doesn't happen very often, but then every once in a while you might have something happen, or it could be a robbery. It could be like, maybe there's a big power outage or some crap, maybe somebody will think, hey, that's a good time to go rip somebody's store off. Hey, the Jewish business owners got their guns too. So Mayor Bloomberg is a freaking jerk, okay? He's freaking bad news, man. And he's like, he reminds me of a Nazi. I mean, what the hell? You electing these guys to freaking serve the public, not dictate to the public. That's what the hell it is. And he goes on to say, I do think there are certain times we should infringe on your freedoms. Like, in other words, the citizens. Who the hell is this jerk? I don't know, man. There's like different types of people up in New Jersey, New York. There's a lot of people who just go along and, but then there's some people like me. I don't go along with anything. I just hope these people that don't go along with anything tweak this bastard every freaking way they possibly can. Because Mayor Bloomberg is a freaking Nazi. That's what the hell he is. He's Jewish. He's a freaking Nazi. He's bullshit. This guy, he walks around. The thing is, too, what the hell was it? The big drinks? You couldn't have the big drinks in New York. Then they said that was unconstitutional. But, it's pretty funny how before he said you couldn't have the big drinks of, like, Coke and Pepsi because they were, like, making you into a diabetic. What does he do? Like, he shorts the soft market stocks. So, like the Pepsi stocks and stuff. So, because you figure they'd go down, he can make a bundle on it. Yeah, well, I guess that ain't as bad as some of the other bullshit. I don't mind him making some money due to some inside information, but damn it, I mean, you're not supposed to do that, but I wouldn't really get pissed off at that. But, him freaking telling everybody in New York, what the hell to do, and I know best. Screw you. The mayor don't know best. It's like, it's the same way it works in that's why fascist dictatorships don't work. Because the people figure it out, I'll tell you one thing. I'll give you one thing there, Mayor Bloomberg. If you're like freaking thinking about the Nazis because you want to be like a dictator, there's one thing they kind of figured out pretty smart with military strategy. You know, they call that the blitzkrieg, what do they call that, the lightning strike or whatever the hell it was. You know, it wasn't like just fast and it wasn't like strong. That wasn't like a lot of people think, you know, what does that mean? You know, blitzkrieg, lightning strike. But actually this applies to like pretty much anything, you know, business and everything. But it also implies that the individuals right there on the ground that are actually doing the job know best. Because basically lightning follows the path of least resistance. So what they did was they allowed their troops, this is why the Nazis were successful, partly why the Nazis were successful militarily, but it also works in business and revitalizing the city with business. Basically, they didn't have this big freaking, you know, central command dictating every little bullshit move these guys did on the bottom. In other words, lightning always found a path of the least resistance. So these little groups would go ahead, they see an opportunity, they wouldn't relay it back to the command and say this and you do this and that. They just go ahead and do it. And that's kind of like how people work, you know. People work best by they're just doing their own thing without somebody dictating to them like exactly what to do on every freaking move. So if you want to be like a little bit, you want to adapt one thing from the Nazis, because you seem like you want to be a freaking Nazi, Mayor Bloomberg, with your freaking dictating shit. But if you want to adapt one thing, that blitzkrieg strategy applied to small business, that's smart. In other words, hands off small business. Let them do their own thing. Let them seek the best area that generates the most money. And when it generates the most money, guess what? That goes right back into New York City's coffers, too. Actually, this is a principle I pretty much applied to every Jewish guy I work with. Because, you know, I figured, you know, that's the way you do it. Deregulate. You know, if there's money here, let's freaking nail it, man. We're going to go like lightning. Wham, get in that opportunity, right? That's the way you want to allow the New Yorkers to be. You know, you want them to have that freedom. You don't want to tell them what the hell's best. And, you know, it's like you don't want to infringe on their rights. You know, part of that, too, is defending their own businesses, which keeps other people law-abiding, because then they say, you know, I can rip that guy off because, you know, he might shoot me or something, right? So everybody's law-abiding. Makes it nice and simple, right? So, you know, Mayor Bloomberg, I don't know what the hell's the matter with you, man. You're just on a freaking ego trip or some bullshit. I don't know what the hell it is. I guess when you're mayor, you get to be up there and you're like, hey, I'm mayor of New York and blah, blah, blah. Who the fuck knows? I don't know. Just lay off everybody, man. It's bullshit. I think the only thing, you know, they actually, the Nazis ever figured out right was that military blitzkrieg crap. But that, you know, it's, I mean, I ain't into this making war shit, but, you know, business, hey, that's pretty smart for business. Just allow the little groups, the little businesses to do their own thing, seek the most profit where they can. In other words, deregulate the shit out of New York. That's what you got to do. So, Mayor Bloomberg, I don't know where the hell you think you say government knows best. Government don't know best. The people know best. And that's why that crap even worked with the, because I'm explaining it to you this way, because obviously, Bloomberg, you're a Nazi. You know, so I got to tell you one thing that would make sense if you apply like the blitzkrieg military strategy to small businesses, where you let the small businesses kind of seek where the money is on their own without regulating the shit out of them like government knows best. Then it would work out best for New York for economic health. So I got to explain it to you like this, because obviously, Mayor Bloomberg, you seem like you want to be like Adolf Hitler or some shit. You say you know best for everybody. Fuck that shit. You know what? That's bullshit. Even if you're a good guy, that's bullshit. You don't want that. Let people do their own thing. You know? We got a Constitution in the United States for a reason. And if you guys even took it away from us, we're going to grab it back. So I got news for you. That's what's going to happen.